Hi, this is Yvon Prehn, and I want to give you a brief video tour of some image and training resources. These resources are part of our Bulletin Tips article on the website effectivechurchcom.com, and I'm going to just go through some of the ones that are listed here and show you what they're like and give you some tips on how to make the most of them. The first one that we'll look at is the Before and After magazine site. Now, this site always makes me smile because this was actually one of the first magazines that came out on desktop publishing in the early 80s. It's been around a long, long time. It has now gone to digital format. Now, it's not inexpensive if you sign up for a subscription, but what I recommend that you do is that you go to the site bamagazine.com, and they have 3 really excellent free downloads on typefaces, on logos, and on color. These are just great publications, and even if you don't get anything else, if you download these and they are completely free, it's a wonderful resource. So again, this is at www.bamagazine.com. The next resource is just a marvelous site. It's the ilovetypography.com. Your type is really one of the most important aspects of your design. It really can make the difference between something that looks very professional and something that looks amateur. And this site goes into great detail about history of type, different typefaces, all sorts of things about it. Some of it's a little, edgy and not really very useful. But this is the kind of site that perhaps give yourself some time, maybe even just once a month, to go to the site, read over some different things, and really look at the different typefaces. A little time spent learning about type will really serve you well in helping your communications become much more professional. The next site is one of the about.com sites, and these are kind of a mixed bag. They've got a lot of goofy stuff and tons of ads and all that sort of thing. But they do have some interesting articles and things like that. For example, right here on this first page, they say they have a little article on have fun with free fonts. And this actually does give you some good information, some resources, some tips and ideas on things that you can find free fonts. For example, let's just go to the Dingbat one because that's really kind of fun. You sort of have to keep clicking through to different things. But here we've got something that could be possibly very useful, little Gabriel's Angels. And all you have to do is just click on it, download it, and that's all there is to that. Like I say, I have mixed feelings about this site. It's kind of a pain in the neck, and you sure have to sort through an awful lot of ads, but it can be fun. There are a lot of resources, and this is one of those things that I put in the category for at night when I'm watching television and just sitting there with my husband. I'll go through this kind of thing and sort through some material that might be useful for projects that I'm working on. Now, this next one is not free, but it's still just a really good resource, and it's not terribly expensive. These are the people at Church Art Pro. They have been around forever. They have just a lot of different types of clip art, all very traditional for the church, but it really is a good resource. So if you're not familiar with them, I encourage you to check it out. It's just kind of one of those basic tools that most church communicators need and find very helpful. Here we are on Wikipedia Commons. Many of you are familiar with Wikipedia because it is a source of articles and information and that sort of thing. But they also have quite a few images available for you that you can freely use. Now, they talk about if you are starting out, you might want to check out their featured images, quality images, or valued images. So let's take a look at these, the featured images. And you can see they're in different categories: animals, astronomy, food and drink, historical. Some of the historical ones are absolutely fascinating, and I would encourage you, like every other thing, when you have time to look at some of them. Let's just go ahead and click on the more here, and you can see just some excellent images that you might use in all sorts of different teaching or website or PowerPoint or many, many different types of things in your church. Let's go back again. Natural phenomenon, objects, people, places, plants and fungi, their own category, kind of interesting. Space exploration, some beautiful images. Sports. Here's an area where you might find some excellent things, for example, for men's ministry that you might not have access to in other places. Just some great stuff that you can download, modify, do different things with. I won't take any more time on this, but I think this gives you an idea of how there is so much available for you. And that was just the featured images. Actually, let me just quickly click on the quality images, because some of these are really quite nice. This one I think is just beautiful. These are quality images just by exposure. And they're ones that the people at Wikipedia thought, simply because of their technical merit, should be in this category. But aren't some of these beautiful? You could use them for backgrounds, for, again, PowerPoint, website, all kinds of things. Very, very high quality, excellent images, and freely available for you to use because they're part of Wikipedia Commons. That was just a quick overview of some fun websites that I think will give you different ideas. If you have additional resources, websites that you like, send them to Yvon at effectivechurchcom.com, and I'll pass them on. And may the Lord greatly bless you as you serve Him in church communications.